Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I have a very specific love reading today, and this is for someone who is what one might call a temptress, a seductress, a Jezebel. You might even say, to be vulgar, cock tease. And if this is you, stay tuned because this is going to be a very exciting reading. And again, this is very specific. This is not for everyone, okay? Okay, candle. This is a very phallic image, is it not? The candle dripping wax. And this is really about passions burning through the night. I feel like there's someone who has been burning their candle through the night for you. All right. We got antenna. Ooh, okay, I feel like you're picking up on these frequencies. I think that someone has been sending this energy towards you and you're really picking it up. I think you're very perceptive, and I think sometimes you understand a little bit more than what people express. I think you can kind of tell just by how people look at you, the things that they're thinking about you. You just know. All right, and we have snat. And this is the feeling of producing babies. I don't know, I'm just the messenger, guys. If that's not your vibe, that's okay. But it could also just be you have this really motherly energy, which I know is like almost contrasting to this seductive nature. But I swear, when it comes to men, you gotta lean into the edible thing. Alright, so I feel like you're someone who is really like the safe, kind of soft energy in some ways. And that's almost what is like so warm and desirable, where it's like someone just wants to be enveloped in your warm bosom, is what I'm getting. Alright, let's draw some tarot on this matter. Ooh, the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this is definitely you. This is like someone who has been brewing something and you kind of have it all. You're very connected to nature. You're connected to Mother Earth, the Gaian mother. And of course there's a bunny on this. You know what they say about bunnies, right? I'm getting the Magnetic Fields song, Let's Pretend We're Bunny Rabbits. I love that song. Alright, the Sun. And this is, again, the birthing of new life. But you know, this doesn't have to be, like, physically reproducing or anything like that. It could just be, like, you're birthing some sort of new energy of, I feel like you're someone who brings out something new in people, where it's like they didn't realize the force of their attraction could be so strong until they saw you. And I also feel like you can bring out the childlike innocence in some people. Like I mentioned, you have this really nurturing, motherly quality, which appears in both this card and in the snap card, where it's like someone can feel free to be a child or connect with their inner child in front of you, and it's not something that you make them feel disgusted or ashamed about. It's something that you actually encourage, and I feel like you do this in a really playful and fun way that is quite flirtatious as well, and it just brings out this side of people that they forgot that they had in them. All right. Ooh, the Empress. Wow, this is a crazy spread coming out, guys. Can you believe that? This is the card of fertility and of the Gaian mother, of really being connected to this flow of the rivers. I feel like this person just wants to drink from your river. And there's this really strong feeling of like you make things grow, if you know what I mean. And there's this really strong feeling of just, yeah, being connected to your animal nature as well, where it's like you're not uncomfortable about being in your body. And it's like you really flow with this feeling of just really being warm and comfortable in it, where it's like someone just wants to drink you like a cup of hot chocolate, is what I'm getting. And it's really this strong, feminine, powerful nature. And you don't even necessarily have to be a woman, even though I've used many terms that are quite associated with a women. And okay, Jezebel is probably not the right term to use. That's a little bit intense, because I feel like you're just, okay? You're not like, to use a bit of a negative term, whorish. I feel like you're not just like being a player. I feel like you don't just seduce people just to punish them or anything like that. It's like you have a seductive quality about you that you just can't stop. Like it's just your nature. It's not something you're putting on, or it's not an act. It's something you're just genuinely doing because that's who you are. And I feel like you're really just in your dealings with suitors, where you can tell that if someone's quite attracted to you, you might tease them and flirt with them a little bit, but you're not a heartbreaker. You're not like some adulteress. You're not a home wrecker. I'm sorry I used the term Jezebel. I didn't mean to say that to you. So I feel like you're quite balanced as well, where I feel like you can make a really good judgment of like, okay, is it the time to be overtly flirtatious, or should I just allow my nature to rest as it is and, you know, allow things to happen? If people want to be attracted to you, let it be. It doesn't always mean that you have to play into that attraction or do anything about it. It sometimes just is how it is. All right, and the Hierophant. Okay, so I feel like this person that you're engaged with is quite knowledgeable, and I feel like they have this almost spiritual side to them where it's like they can see this aspect in you, where it's like they don't just see you for who you are. It's like, oh, that person is so beautiful, they're so attractive, they're so seductive. It's almost like they can sense this deeper connection that you have to Mother Earth and to your feminine animal nature, where, you know, it gets them going in a really different way than just seeing someone and being like, oh, they're beautiful or they're hot. It's like, no, they actually are so connected to that aspect of sexuality that it just drives this person crazy. Like, it's on this higher level than just the physical. It's beyond psychological as well. It's fully the spiritual tier attraction that is just something that can't even be replicated in the physical form, right? Like, you know, it's almost like these purely physical attractions almost have this dryness about them. But like I mentioned, you are the flowing river, and it's like this moist place. Like, if you could imagine almost like sinking into a swamp. Like, the vision I'm really getting is like this person is going into a forest and they find you as the guy and mother and they just want to drink from your fountain of youth and connect to their inner child. No, it's really innocent. It really is. But I also feel like this person could almost have this, like, celibate side to them, right? Because this is like a religious figure, right? So I feel like this is someone who is maybe a little bit uncomfortable with the physical domain of touch, and this could be something that is very intriguing to you and helps you play up your teasing and seductive nature, where it's almost fun to not necessarily indulge in that physical contact all the time, but remain in the realm of flirtation, because I feel like that's something you're so good at, and I feel like it's something that this person really appreciates as well. The moon. Okay, so I feel like on this card there is the wolf and the dog howling together. So there is a sense of polarity where I feel like you're a lot more in your feminine nature and the other person is more in their masculine nature, but you still come together over having these qualities that are in common. And also in this card you can see that the moon is eclipsing the sun. So it's like when I talked about this person is represented by the sun card, and it's like the light of day, but the moon is eclipsing it. So it is this feeling of the feminine nature almost taking over, of shrouding things in mystery. And I feel like this is really where the seductive quality comes from, is things that are mysterious, things that are unknown, things that are unseen, where it's almost like this person kind of wants to see what's under your clothes, but they also kind of don't. Because like I mentioned with this religious quality, it's almost like it's better to exist in this realm of the unknown, is more exciting in some ways. Alright, let's draw a few cards on what this person is thinking about you right now. Alright, let's draw one for the stack first. Dog. Oh my god, they want to follow you around like a puppy, is what I'm getting. Like, they want to be your dog. You know, this could even develop into something that could be some sort of masochistic relationship, like, you know, Venus and furs type shit. Alright, and we have, ooh, the four of wands coming out here. And this is this feeling of marriage, perhaps, or a celebration in some ways, where I feel like this person is going to be overjoyed just to be in your presence. It's not even like they want anything from you. It's literally just being around you drives them crazy, is the sense that I'm getting. And it is because you are so tempting. It's like, I feel like the thing that makes you so tempting is knowing that they can't have you. And this is just very exciting for the both of you, I really think, where you can tell that someone is just absolutely drooling over you, just absolutely overflowing, if you know what I mean. But it's this denial that is very intriguing. Alright, let's try another card on what this person is thinking about you. Ooh, the world. Okay, so I feel like they kind of see you as like everything. Like, you contain so much that it's like they could just study you for so long and not get tired of you. It's almost like you have accomplished so much in the world, or really drawn in so many different energies, you've observed so much, you really have this worldly quality about you. And like I mentioned, with this almost like spiritual sense, it's almost like you're larger than life, or you really embody something beyond just the worldly. And I also feel like you have this almost higher level of wisdom where it's like you've gone beyond just being able to quote a book or quote something that someone else has said, and you've gone into being able to form your own ideas from your own center of truth. And I think this is what makes you so seductive, is knowing that it's not just something within you that has been done before or seen before. It's like you could watch a movie there's this beautiful actress or some sort of pornography. Beautiful actresses there too, but it's this feeling of like you are something entirely unique that nothing has ever captured before, and that's what makes you so intriguing. And why someone just wants to follow you like a dog is because there is just this infinite wisdom flowing from you, and I feel like you can give this person some guidance. And like I mentioned, with this kind of motherly quality, I feel like it's almost like this person wants to be told what to do by you. Alright, this is a very exciting dynamic. Let's draw another card on what this person is thinking about you. We had a few cards come out here. Ooh, the Two of Pentacles. So I feel like this person, yeah, just definitely sees you as like this infinite polarity that you hold within you. Like I feel like you're really holding taut the masculine and feminine qualities within yourself. Like I mentioned, you might be outwardly quite feminine, and you might really have this deep connection to this feminine strength within you that comes from the Gaian mother. But I feel like at the same time you hold taut this masculine quality that is also quite intriguing. And I think this is where the flirtatious aspect or the teasing aspect comes out a little bit, where this really abundant sensual quality is more in the feminine energy, but the teasing and flirtation comes from a masculine quality that relates to something a little bit more cognitive about the words that you use, or anything intentional about maybe certain timing related things, where like you look at them at just the right time, or you look at them in a certain way at just the right time. Whereas I feel like the feminine nature is just how you exist physically in your body when you're not really paying attention to that sort of things. But because you're paying attention to both at the same time, it's like you hold this taut like a string, like a tightrope is what I'm getting. And when I tell you taut, when I tell you... yeah, okay. Let's see. The Queen of Cups. Okay, I feel like you're someone who's very connected to your emotional nature. And again, this is this feeling of really being close to this feminine, unconscious quality where I feel like, okay, this person might not even be conscious of how attracted they are to you until they're directly in front of you, and it's like this overflowing feeling is what I'm getting. Where maybe it's not so much something that is like can be intellectualized in such a sense of like what they exactly find so attractive about you, but it's really about this all-encompassing flow, like the tides that just bring them in. Alright, the Page of Wands. Okay, I think this is definitely the person's energy. I feel like in some ways they're almost like a little bit innocent. They might have not had too much experience with a seductress type before. And they're also, they're stroking their wand, what can I say? But they're in a desert. There's a little bit of a drought going on. So I feel like maybe this person could be like a little bit devoid of that feminine attention for a while. And this could be why it's so exciting for them to be around you. But I also feel like you just have this natural ability to bring out like this servantile nature in people, where it's like people just want to bow down to you and give you what you want. And I feel like this is something that comes from your seduction, is like when someone is so thoroughly seduced by you, it's like they're almost hypnotized, and it's almost like such a strong sense of power, like more than any masculine force of power of if you've read the book Seduction by Jean Baudrillard, he talks about the more productive nature of sex and reproduction, whereas there is this quality to seduction that is a lot more subtle and magical. And it's this feeling of like you embody the seductive nature rather than the reproductive, like base carnal nature. Where, like I mentioned, you are connected to your physical form, of course, but you go so far beyond that. Where I mentioned you're like bringing in this spiritual quality that just elevates you above the worldly or the physical. And this is really what is so intriguing about you. It's so seductive about you. All right, and we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, this is again in this person's energy. They are like very guarded, and I feel like they might be a little bit averse to touch. I feel like you know who I'm talking about because they're not the where my hug at type of person. They're not the type of person who's trying to get their hands all over you. It's like they are keeping their distance. You know, if you've seen the movie Zodiac where he's wearing like 2 layers of pants or something like that, that's the vibe that I'm getting from this person. I feel like this will be a very rewarding dynamic for you as well. Alright, the Page of Pentacles, another page coming out. This is just emphasizing this person's innocence of like, they just want to admire you. Like they're holding up this form, and the pentacle can be said to represent the human body or the self. So it's like they're just admiring you for who you are. I feel like this person doesn't want anything from you, like I mentioned. It's they purely want to admire your nature. And so I feel like this is something that you will really enjoy. All right, and let's pull some cards on how you can meet this person if you haven't yet met them, or how you'll know that this is someone who's already in your life. Okay, we have property. Okay, I feel like this is someone who is quite wealthy. I feel like this is someone who might have like a little bit of disposable income, or they might be someone who is just really financially secure. Like, I feel like this is not someone who's trying to pull on your energy, like I mentioned, because they want anything out of you. I feel like it's someone who has more than enough to give, and they're in this really secure place of just wanting to give you their attention because they have an abundant sort of attention, right? They have free time, yet they're also still working. They're not someone who's just lazy and just paying you attention because they have way too much free time. It's more like they value their time. You know, time is money, and they choose to spend their time on you because they just like you that much. All right, and the Nine of Pentacles. Again, this is like very similar to the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress energy, where it's like you're just in your garden and there's a little bird. So I feel like maybe the dynamic that you have with this person is a lot larger than this little bird doing his funny little mating dance. So I feel like the sense you might get when you're around this person is they almost feel dwarfed by you, or they might be a little bit shy around you in some ways, where especially if you're someone who might consider yourself kind of shy, it's almost like you have the upper hand in the dynamic when you're around this person, I think, because you unsettle them or make them a little bit nervous. All right, and moving on, we have the Eight of Cups. And so I think there's this feeling of like moving on to something new, where I feel like maybe in the past you had been a little bit embarrassed of the seductive quality, where maybe you tried to play it down, and especially if you were in situations where no one else around you was being seductive. And it really did have this feeling of like, oh my god, everyone's looking at me like I'm some sort of Jezebel. Like, I'm dressed up, I look nice, I make eye contact in a really intense way, and I just want to hide from the world now. And I feel like that's something you might have felt in the past, of just being kind of ashamed of that quality, of being ashamed that people are attracted to you. But I feel like you're really moving on from that and moving into this feeling of just, you know, being empowered in your nature. You know, if that's just who you are, that's who you are, and you got to be proud of it. And again, we have this motif of the sun and the moon, or perhaps this is just the moon up top. And so there is this feeling of the coming together of the masculine and the feminine qualities within yourself, and the coming together of the masculine and feminine in a symbolic sense in the world, which is, I think, what you're accomplishing through this dynamic. All right, well, I hope that this reading gave you something to get excited about. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope to see you in the next one.